after they move into the property or they have their home delivered, during the time change, they send out half a dozen 9-volt batteries. What's it going to cost you to go to Costco or a big box store and buy a case of 9-volt batteries? And you say, you know, the time change is next Saturday, you know, and I know you just moved into your home. Here's 6 batteries for you. You think that will get a customer saying, wow, what a great extra value this builder is? See, if you're not getting 30% of your business by referrals, you're doing something wrong. And I think you should set that as an absolute minimum goal. I know people in our industry, in your business, who are getting 40, 50, and 60% of their business on referrals. Guess what's happening to their ad budget? It goes down, right? And guess what sales are easier to make? Okay? Yeah, there's a gal in Plattsburgh, New York. She's a retailer and sells both modular and manufactured homes, and she has just a great program for staying in touch with her customers. And the second year in the spring after they moved in, you know what Michelle does? She sends them flower seeds. And guess what the flower brand is? Some of you probably can't see this. Guess what the flower brand is? Forget-me-not flowers. How much is this going to cost Michelle to buy a package of forget-me-not flower seeds and send them a note and say, hey, you know, thanks for buying our product. We didn't forget about you. Here's some flower seeds. I got a couple here. I'm not taking this back on the airplane here with me. There you go. But it's those little things that can make a big difference when it comes to customer satisfaction. You set up a goal as a result of this conference to go back and find out where you are with customer relations as far as referrals and set the bar 5%, 10%, 20% different for next year and take it to the next step. And then watch your advertising and marketing budget go down. Because right now it's not about spending more money, it's about how I can make my money work the best for me. And I think, you know, this is all the case. You know, when I do consulting and coaching with builders, very seldom do I tell them as part of our finished chat or time spent that they got to spend more money. In most of the cases, it's all about reallocating some monies to some things that work a little bit better now than they maybe did 4, 5, 10 years ago. So, you know, establish a customer relations budget. The odds are in your favor because of the increased sales that you'll make for it. The second point I'd like to cover here is really about your advertising and marketing budget. And hopefully we all at least have a budget line item for advertising and marketing. That is not the area to cut expenses at this point. That is the area to reallocate some funds. Okay, in a lot of cases, we've been doing the same thing day in and day out, year after year, without making changes, and that's we wonder why we're not getting better or different results. And you've all heard, you keep doing the same thing, you're going to expect to get the same results. So, I'd like to challenge you on reallocating some monies to the following items. Okay, if I said that the #1 lead source was referrals, which we've already talked about that, and we already talked about a customer relations budget. What would you guess is the #2 lead source nationwide in our industry? What would you guess? The internet. The internet is by far the second best lead source there is out there. When was the last time you updated your website? When was the last time you made some changes to your website or redid your website? I'm telling you this, and I'm just telling you this not because I have all the answers, because I certainly don't. But what I do have a knack is how I get the answers from all the best people in the industry, as I talked to you from Bill Arabian, is the dollars you spend on the internet for your web page is worth 30 times more than any dollar you can spend anyplace else. You've got to spend the money in that department. Now, I'm not saying just because it's the second best lead source that you're going to take 80% of your budget line item and put it all on the internet. I'm not saying that at all, so don't mistake on that. I am saying is we have to focus more on the internet. We have to focus more on making some changes to the internet. You know, in the way I look at it, and again, some of you have sales centers, some of you are vendors, again, communities. But if you had, and I'm just going to take as a sales center as an example, if you had